Hi and welcome to the Unquendor Guitars workshop and another part in the video series where I'm building my very first single cut guitar model. My name is Daniel and I'm very excited because in this episode I'm going to turn this pile of parts into a guitar. I'm not quite sure on how I'm going to do this video because if I want to explain everything, the video will be far too long. It will take me 3 to 4 hours to do and explain everything. So I'm going to speed some things up and I'm going to give you some little tips and tricks along the way. So the first thing I'm going to do is installing the string stoppers or the string ferrules to the back of this guitar. So of course there's some padding on my workbench and the first thing I'm going to do is to clean up the holes for the string ferrules, and I'm going to use my stepper drill and just by hand clean up the holes. To install the string ferrules I like to use a little dowel that fits perfectly inside the string ferrule, and now I can place it into the hole and use a little hammer to gently tap them in. Until they're nice and flush with the body. You can buy specialized tools to do this, but just a 6mm dowel works perfect. So the next step is to mount the bridge. Fairly easy, all the mounting holes have been drilled, so it's a matter of mounting the base plate to the guitar body and reassemble all the saddles. So the bridge is mounted and now I'm going to focus on installing these tuners, and I'm going to use Spurzle tuners, and that's because I can change the orientation of these tuners. This is a 6-in-line set and of course I have a 4x2 headstock, so I have to convert the orientation of 2 of these tuners. But don't worry, I'm going to make a separate video on how to convert these tuners one of these days. So I don't go into details on how I do it for this video, but I will make a separate video on how to convert Spurzle tuners from left to right or vice versa. So yeah, here we go. Tuners are also in, and my apologies if the clip was a bit short. My camera only records for half an hour before it shuts down automatically, and I didn't realize it had stopped, so my apologies if that clip was a bit short, unfortunately. So next step is to start wiring the guitar, at least the 3-way switch, so I can mount the pickups and put on some strings. So the first piece of wiring I'm going to do is this 4-core and shield cable that runs from the 3-way switch to the control cavity. So of course first thing I need to do is tin all these wires. So I've combined the shielding and black to be my ground wire. My red wire for the bridge pickup, white wire for the neck pickup, and the green wire as the common coming from the three-way switch to the controls. So here's our three-way switch, and I've combined the middle two connection points to be my output. Put a bit of tin on it. And of course the ground lug. So I've soldered the earth to this lock here, and now I'm going to solder the green wire to the center of this three-way switch. And usually my fingers are a little too big. But here we go. And now the other two are red and white here in the back. So I've got my three-way switch wired up. And now I can install it. Hopefully I can run this wire through this little hole. Whew, luckily it fits. So with the wire to the three-way switch routed through the guitar, it's time to start mounting the pickups. And I've got my two pickup rings and my Fishman Fluence Classic humbucker set, and it comes with all the necessary parts and wiring. But first I have to mount the pickups to the mounting ring, put two strings onto the guitar so I can align the pole pieces with the strings as good as I can, and then I can fix everything in place and start wiring the pots and the output jack. So yeah, let me first mount the pickups to the pickup rings, and if I have a little tip for you, I will come back to you in real time. So time to start wiring this guitar, and as you can see there's a whole bunch of wires, so it's going to be an awful spaghetti in the control cavity, but I'm going to try and make it as clean as possible. I've already installed the two volume pots, they're already in, and now I'm going to prepare the push-pull tone pots, because if I put these in first you can't reach all the connection points, so I'm going to solder everything that has to go to the tone pots first. And I'm going to use, of course, the provided diagram. It's provided by Fishman with these Fluence pickups, and yeah, let's hope I can get it done. So the wiring is all done, and yeah, I can't explain this in this video. These Fishman pickups have very complicated wiring, and it would take me at least an hour to explain what's going on. But essentially, these pickups have, of course, 2 volumes control and a 3-way switch, and 2 tone controls that have a push-pull button. This push-pull pod switches the voicing of the Fluence pickups. One is to get a single coil sound, single coil voicing, and the other one has the second voicing of these pickups. So in total you have 3 tonal options. You have the regular voice 1 PAF style voicing, single coil voicing, and the other voicing is a more punchy overwound PAF type sound. So a lot of options with this guitar. Yeah, and pretty complicated wiring, but I think I did a pretty good job in keeping it nice and tidy. Now fingers crossed that it also works. Now of course I can put on the rest of the strings and do a initial setup of this guitar, but first of all I'm going to glue in the nut. So gluing in the nut is quite easy. Of course I made sure the nut sits perfectly in the groove where the nut is going to be, and I made sure the bottom of the nut is nice and flat. And what I like to do is just put 2 very minuscule drops of super glue near these 2 holes, and then put the nut in, and yeah, the string tension should hold it in place. Just the tiniest amount is more than enough to keep the nut in place. I might have even a little bit too much. Just 2 little drops. And hopefully I can get it. And that's all there is to it. So now with the strings on, I can tune the guitar for the first time and do a global setup, and then I'm going to leave it for a couple of days, play it maybe, and then do the final setup of this guitar. I always like to leave the guitar as soon as it's strung up for the first time, to leave it a couple of days, because yeah, at this point everything is going to set itself, the neck is under tension for the first time. So yeah, I'm going to do a basic setup, give you guys hopefully a little sound demo, and then yeah, we've got a finished guitar. So let's tune it. Yeah, and the electronics seem to work. And I know you shouldn't tune a guitar lying down, but this is just for getting everything under tension. I'm not going to record with it, not yet. So the guitar is in tune. Let's check the neck. The neck is perfect straight now, and almost no tension on the truss rod, so I'm very, very happy. Let's address the action at the nut, and I'm going to use my nut slotting files to set the action at the 1st fret, and then do the action at the then set the bridge and the action for the 12th fret. So and then I'm going to intonate this guitar and hopefully it's ready to play. So yeah, let me address the nut real quick. So I've got a general setup for the action at the nut, and I always keep it a tad too high, just a little too high, because I can always take it down for a customer or whatever. It's real hard to raise the action if you've set it too low, so I always keep it just a little on the high side, not too much. But yeah, I'm happy with the nut. Now I can set the action at the 12th fret and intonate the bridge and set the correct radius for the bridge saddles using, of course, a measuring tool. And yeah, then we should be almost there. So let's address the action. Again, also a global setup for the action. Make sure the guitar is tuned. It is. I can raise it a little. Alright, nice action, no fret buzz, and it's just a millimeter. So very low action is possible on this guitar. So it looks like we have a almost functioning guitar. Wow. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's, in my opinion, it sounds like a great guitar. So let's finish it. Let's put on the knobs, clip off the axes on the strings, and put on the strap locks. And then I can take it upstairs, do a nice intonation job and setup, and then yeah, it's ready to be played. Yeah, the guitar is set up, tuned, ready to go, and it sounds amazing. It plays fantastic, and I'm really happy with the end result, and I'm sure I'm going to build a couple more this year to put up for sale. Yeah, I'm not the best guitar player there is. I rarely play guitar, so I invited Ron van Bijnen to come over and check this one out. hope you liked this video, I hope you liked this series, and if you did, please leave a like and leave a comment in the comment section down below. I really enjoy and appreciate your comments, and I always try to answer them as fast as I can, or as soon as I can. The next episode will be, of course, a compilation video of this entire build, starting from scratch to up until this point. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell to get notified when I upload something new. And if you want to support Unquendor Guitars directly, you can always check out my Teespring goodie store for a nice t-shirt or a coffee mug, and you can support this channel directly so I don't have to run ads during the video. Yeah, like I said, next video will be a compilation video, so keep an eye out for that one, and until then, have a nice one.